The news continues 24/7, powered by our 4 sister stations in the Northwest.
This morning on First Edition, a Northwest police officer fights for his life after a traffic stop ends in gunfire. We have new details about one of the suspects. Then a heat wave hits the Northwest, why it could make your commute sluggish today. And excitement builds for Team USA's World Cup showdown, where Northwesterners can catch the action. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to First Edition. I'm Cam Johnson. It's Tuesday, July 1st, and we are starting the month with one of the hottest days of the year so far. Take a look at this sunrise view from the Seattle waterfront a little bit earlier this morning. Isn't this beautiful? Mount Rainier with the Great Wheel in the foreground. The heat could put a kink in your morning commute today, though. If you are using the Max line in Oregon, you need to be prepared for possible delays. News Channel 8's Kathy Marshall explains.
We can certainly feel the heat building already out here. Check out across the street. We're watching as the sun rises higher in the sky, just bouncing off that building over there. TriMet isn't expecting any delays this morning, but they say do expect some slowdown as we get into the heat of the afternoon. The threshold is 90 degrees here. When temperatures reach that level, TriMet says it is forced to slow the trains down. When we reach the hot temperatures during the afternoon commute, it will drop speeds by 10 miles an hour on trains in certain areas.
The overhead wires can sag. The rails can actually expand and get kinks in them.
Now, TriMet does remind you to plan ahead, give yourself some extra time when those trains slow down. If you do love the warm weather, though, no better place to be than Tom McCall Waterfront Park. We saw a lot of people out on the water, riding bikes last night, enjoying the fountain there, even the kids cooling off in the 185 jets in that fountain. You know, the city of Portland has more than 20 fountains around town. We expect those to get very busy this afternoon as those temperatures climb into the 90s.
Well, a hot day in the Northwest means a lot of people will be headed to the water, and a program in Seattle aims to keep kids safe. It gives swimming lessons at big discounts to children from lower income families, but the city says the cost of $3 a day is still too expensive for many families.
We've had families in the last week saying that they, would love to sign up their children, and there's not enough dollars, not enough money in our system to be able to do that.
So the city is asking for donations from the public, so kids' lessons will cost families just 70 cents a day. And we'll be glad that the kids have had swim lessons today when so many of them hit the beach, the pools, you name it, to get cool, right, Keisha?
Absolutely. We are looking at temperatures reaching the 90s in many locations today, the 80s. In some areas could see triple-digit heat, including southwest Oregon. Let's take a look at current conditions already warming up Seattle. Low 60s at the moment, 63 in Spokane, and starting out in the upper 50s this early morning across eastern Oregon. Seeing bright skies around Pacific City, another place to beat the heat. Should be a beautiful day at the coast and pretty warm there too, with highs reaching the 80s. Overall around Seattle, we had a few clouds around this morning, but you can certainly see cloud-free shot here, a gorgeous shot of Mount Rainier as we're starting out, mainly clear and mostly dry. High pressure sitting on top of us, providing us with dry skies for now. I do expect clear skies for the next few days. We'll be heating up, but then we'll be cooling right back down again by the end of the week. Talk about that coming up.
All right, we'll probably be ready for the cool down by then, Keisha.
Yes.
All right, thank you. We'll check back with you in a few minutes. New this morning, police have identified one of the suspects in the shooting of a Vancouver police officer. James Sapp is in custody this morning. He has a long criminal history in both Oregon and Washington. Police say Sapp had an outstanding warrant when a motorcycle cop pulled him over yesterday in a stolen truck. The officer was shot several times. This morning, he is in critical condition. Police say the suspect's vehicle took off after the shooting, then crashed into a tree before 2 suspects took off running. Officers captured 1 man immediately. Witnesses say the other tried to find another getaway car.
The guy comes up to our window and he says, "You guys got to get me the hell out of here." He said it twice. He said, "You guys got to get me out of here. You guys got to get me out of here."
When they refused to give the suspect a ride, they say he assaulted another man and stole his truck. Police eventually tracked the suspect down and arrested him. We'll stay with NWCN for more on this developing story. You can also find additional information on our website, nwcn.com. We could learn more details today about a deadly officer-involved shooting at a light rail station in Seattle. 3 men were asked to leave the train when one of them couldn't prove he'd paid his fare. A King County deputy says one of the men pulled out a handgun and the deputy opened fire. Deputies performed CPR, but the man died at the scene. The shooting shut down light rail and rerouted passengers.
It's a tribute to the Seattle jurisdiction here to get this under control and make a good situation that could have been bad.
Investigators shut down light rail service for nearly 5 hours yesterday, but everything is back to normal this morning for the commute. A new law takes effect today allowing guns on public colleges and universities in Idaho. The law allows retired law enforcement officers and those with enhanced concealed carry licenses to have weapons on campus. The schools affected are now updating their security plans to be presented during a Board of Education meeting coming up in August. Right now, let's check in with our Portland affiliate for the latest on a deadly shooting investigation. News Channel 8's Russ Lewis joins us now with more on this. Good morning, Russ.
Cam, good morning. Portland police are asking for anybody's help to find the person responsible for this deadly shooting. It happened in North Portland, and we want to give you the scene, show you what it was like out there last night, a candlelight vigil for the victim, 24-year-old Andrew Coggins. Neighbors say Coggins was killed yesterday afternoon in a drive-by shooting, and police now are looking into whether this was gang-related. Officers did interview several witnesses, including people on a TriMet bus that happened to be driving by when that shooting happened. Police in Vancouver, Washington identified 3 persons of interest in a huge fire that destroyed an apartment complex under construction. They released a series of surveillance images, and they want to hear from anyone who knows the people in the photos. The 2-alarm fire broke out on June 20th. Nobody was hurt, but the fire gutted that 91-unit building and caused more than $3 million in damage. Oregon State Police will crack down on impaired drivers this holiday weekend, and they're launching a no refusal period. That means police will work with prosecutors and judges so they can quickly get warrants to draw blood from DUI suspects who refuse a breathalyzer test. In Oregon, refusing to take that breath test results in a 1-year suspension of your driver's license. But some drivers, they're okay with that. They refuse the test because they're trying to avoid punishment, a greater punishment for a possible DUI conviction. So it may not get you out of the jail cell, Cam, if you just refuse the breathalyzer test, at least this weekend.
And maybe that will be a big deterrent for people as they make their plans for the holiday.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, Russ, thanks so much for the update from Portland. Have a great day there today. Try to find some shade somewhere.
I'm staying right here in the air-conditioned studio, Cam.
All day and all night. Just setting up a cot.
Yep.
Okay, we'll check back with you tomorrow.
Thanks.
The countdown to kickoff is on. Team USA gets ready to take on Belgium in the knockout round of the World Cup. Bars throughout the Northwest and the nation are expected to be packed for this afternoon's match. Some people are making bold predictions.
Belgium's going to be a good opponent, but I definitely think we can beat them. And then after that, most likely we'll be playing Argentina. And I think that'll really be a thrilling game as well. But I definitely see a chance of us getting out of the 16, out of the 8, and even moving into the 4.
Okay, so they're fired up. The Americans take to the pitch against Belgium at 1 o'clock Pacific time. And if you're one of those excited fans and you're looking for a place to cheer on Team USA, the Seattle Sounders and American Outlaws will host a live viewing party at the CenturyLink Field Event Center in Seattle. That is just south of the stadium. Doors open at 11 o'clock. The event is free.
Nice.
You can get there early. Get your game on.
That's right. Get ready.
Get that
nice
cheering voice ready.
Absolutely. A perfect day for just about anything. Perfect day to be outdoors. We have temperatures rising rapidly across the region, so perfect outdoor weather. And this pretty much the similar trend through the weekend. Boise Tower Cam showing a lot of blue sky around. I see lots of clearing across the northwest today. We get that one-day heat wave on the horizon for Seattle, upper 80s, lower 90s in Portland, and we're talking triple-digit heat in Medford. Watching out for dry thunderstorms in some pockets. I'll show you where coming up.
All right, we'll check back with you in just a few. Thank you, Keisha. Still ahead, another Northwest community poised to ban marijuana after a new business gets neighbors up in arms. Then playing with our emotions, the fallout and privacy concerns over Facebook's experiment in today's Tech Talk. And harsh weather hurts an inland Northwest golf course, forcing an elite tournament to seek greener pastures. That and more when we check in with our friends in Spokane.